Imagine dragging tens of thousands of soldiers, cavalry, and African war elephants over a frozen, high-altitude mountain pass in the dead of winter. This crossing initiated an invasion that would eventually cost the Roman Republic 70,000 men in a single afternoon. Despite the scale of that slaughter, the Republic did not collapse. To understand this conflict, we have to look at how a series of flawless tactical victories on the battlefield failed to result in a strategic conquest of Italy. For centuries, the Republic operated under a comfortable assumption. With the massive barrier of the Alps to the north and the Mediterranean Sea to the south, Roman territory was considered secure from land invasion. Hannibal Barca did not care about natural barriers. As a boy in Carthage, he had sworn a blood oath to his father to view Rome as his eternal, unforgiven enemy. He spent years planning his revenge, culminating in an agonizing trek over the Alps. Freezing temperatures, treacherous footing, and ambushes from mountain tribes wiped out half his men and nearly all of his elephants before he ever saw the Italian plains. But he made it. Suddenly, Rome's citizens woke up to find a hostile, battle-hardened army marching straight through their heartland. The Alps failed to serve as a permanent Roman shield. Instead, they masked Hannibal's movement until his army arrived on the Republic's doorstep. The Roman legions marched out to meet him and were dismantled in two severe shock defeats at the River Trebia and Lake Trasimene. Panic set in. The Senate abandoned their measured strategies and relied on brute force. They drafted 80,000 men, the largest single army in Roman history, with a singular goal: crush Hannibal at a town called Cannae. The Romans planned to use their massive numerical advantage to smash straight through the Carthaginian center. But that reliance on overwhelming forward momentum was exactly what Hannibal was counting on. Take a look at this tactical map of the battlefield. Hannibal arranged his troops in a highly unusual shape. He placed his weakest infantry in a crescent formation, deliberately pushed forward toward the Roman lines. As the massive Roman infantry marched forward, they easily pushed that weak Carthaginian center backward. The Romans thought they were breaking the line, so they kept surging forward into the pocket. Then the trap sprang. Hannibal had positioned his heavy, veteran African infantry on the extreme left and right edges. Instead of falling back, they held their ground, creating a vice that gripped the sides of the Roman advance. This executed a maneuver known as double envelopment. While the infantry locked down the sides, the Carthaginian cavalry swept completely around the back of the Roman army, sealing the only exit. Inside that circle, the physical crush of bodies was suffocating. The Romans were pressed so tightly against each other that tens of thousands of men could not even raise their arms to draw their swords. The slaughter lasted for hours. By sunset, nearly 70,000 Roman soldiers lay dead on a field no larger than New York's Central Park. Hannibal achieved a total encirclement of a superior force, establishing a tactical blueprint that military academies still study today. The Roman army was gone. The road to the capital was completely unguarded. Yet, with victory in his grasp, Hannibal stopped. He never marched on the city of Rome. Historians have debated this hesitation for 2 millennia. One practical theory is that Hannibal simply lacked the heavy siege engines and long-term supply chains required to crack Rome's massive defensive walls. Another view focuses on his politics. Hannibal's stated goal wasn't necessarily to burn Rome to the ground, but to humiliate the Republic until its Italian allies broke their treaties and defected to his side. And we cannot ignore the physical reality. Even in victory, the Carthaginian army was bleeding, exhausted, and severely depleted from years of continuous campaigning. Tactical success on the field cannot overcome a lack of long-term strategic resources like food, fresh manpower, and siege weapons. That hesitation was all the Republic needed. By not striking the killing blow, Hannibal gave the Roman Senate the time to draft new legions and completely overhaul their strategy. Rome stopped meeting Hannibal in open combat. Instead, they weaponized their superior logistics, targeting Carthaginian supply lines and sailing their own armies straight toward Hannibal's home territory. By breaking Rome tactically on the field, but leaving the Republic alive politically, Hannibal ensured the destruction of his own homeland.